Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to treat your body exactly like a high-performance machine. We are upgrading both your lifestyle software and your nutritional hardware for absolute peak mitochondrial vitality. If you are ready to completely transform how your cells produce energy, recover, and age over the next 2 months, you are in the exact right place. Let's get into it. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the Holistic Longevity Protocol, then move through our 4 15-day nutritional phases, covering priming and autophagy, strength and recovery, microbiome and stress, and finally, sirtuins and peak output. We'll wrap it all up with how to monitor your recovery and sustain that energy. Starting right off with Section 1, the Holistic Longevity Protocol. So, there's a really clear contrast we need to establish right out of the gate. If you're anywhere in that 30 to 70 age bracket, we are officially done aiming for just basic survival. We're throwing out those old recommended dietary allowances that honestly just do the bare minimum to prevent disease. Instead, we are stepping it up to optimal daily intakes. This is all about maximizing your cellular energy, keeping your mind incredibly sharp, and extending your physical longevity. We want peak biological achievement here. Now, think of these daily habits as your foundational software programs. Before you even think about what you're eating, you've got to get this right to keep your circadian rhythms and cellular machinery humming. We're talking 10 to 30 minutes of morning sunlight before 10 a.m. to set your sleep-wake clock, a quick sunset viewing for melatonin, and 150 minutes of Zone 2 cardio a week to literally flush your mitochondria. Plus, you need active intellectual learning and real community connection. This software primes the hardware. Moving into the nutrition side, we have to talk about the golden rules of sourcing. Listen, where your protein and fat come from literally dictates their anti-inflammatory power. Quality is absolutely crucial here. We're heavily focusing on wild-caught marine lipids, pasture-raised eggs, grass-fed beef, and cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. It's not just beef, it's grass-fed. It's a huge difference for lowering systemic inflammation. All right, moving on to Section 2. This is days 1 through 15, focusing on priming and autophagy. During these first 15 days, we're actively triggering a process called autophagy. What does that mean? Well, think of it like a giant cellular vacuum cleaner. Your body goes in and clears out damaged senescent cells, basically those tired old zombie cells that drag you down and cause fatigue, and sweeps away cellular debris. This makes room for brand new, healthy cells and actually boosts your neuroplasticity. To make this happen, we use a very specific daily timeline to build a consistent biological rhythm. Every single day kicks off at 7 a.m. with an AM elixir, a specific flush to wake up the cells. Then, breakfast at 8:30, lunch at 1 p.m., an energy snack at 3:30, dinner at 6:30, and a final energy snack at 8:30 p.m. Sticking to this schedule is key for keeping your blood sugar completely stable. Consistency is everything. We certainly aren't picking random foods for this phase. Every single item has a targeted cellular purpose. Take the apple cider vinegar in your morning elixir. That's for a liver flush and stabilizing your blood sugar right away. We also use 3 to 5 grams of glycine for collagen repair, detox, and truly deep sleep. Grass-fed beef and bone broth provide fantastic tissue repair and mitochondrial fuel, while pasture-raised eggs give you dense choline for memory support and neurogenesis. Okay, Section 3. Now we're entering days 16 through 30, strength and recovery. In this second phase, we introduce mild metabolic stressors, a biological phenomenon known as hormesis. It's actually pretty fascinating. By introducing temporary stress, like keto cycling or fasting mimetics, we stimulate adaptive pathways that build incredible cellular resilience. It perfectly proves the idea that a little bit of intentional challenge makes your cells way stronger. So our daily blueprint evolves a bit here. At 6:30 a.m., your elixir becomes the cognitive match. Breakfast is an anabolic hash, lunch is a wild omega bowl, and your afternoon snack is celery with almond butter. For dinner, we're doing mitochondrial meatballs, capping the day with some hot bone broth at 8 p.m. These are much more robust, protein-dense meals designed to support joint, muscle, and tissue integrity. Let's look at the why for Phase 2. We're strategically upping our intake of wild marine lipids and MCT oil. A tablespoon of MCT oil gives you immediate brain fuel and metabolic drive. Wild Alaskan salmon brings in high omega-3 structural fats for your brain and eyes. We've got matcha powder for pure cognitive focus, without that jittery cortisol spike, and grass-fed bison, which is incredibly iron-dense for anabolic muscle preservation. Moving right along to Section 4. Days 31 through 45, microbiome and stress. This phase introduces something called the methylation bridge. This is a critical biochemical process that supports DNA repair and the synthesis of neurotransmitters. To make this work optimally, we have to deepen the gut-brain connection. We do this by expanding our fiber diversity, which allows our gut bacteria to produce highly beneficial short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. Your timing schedule stays totally locked in, but the menu gets a major overhaul. At 7 a.m., it's a prebiotic flush elixir. Breakfast is a fermented lox plate, lunch is a kimchi turkey gut bowl, and your afternoon snack is walnuts with kombucha. Dinner? A gorgeous miso-glazed deep sea catch, finishing off with pumpkin seeds at 8:30 p.m. Notice the heavy rotation of fermented items? We are aggressively cultivating diverse gut flora here. And this menu perfectly supports our stress adaptation strategy. Raw fermented kimchi and sauerkraut provide incredible probiotic diversity to repair your gut lining. Turmeric and ginger juice act as a systemic anti-inflammatory for joint defense. We're also using liquid chlorophyll to oxygenate the blood and sweep out heavy metals, plus ashwagandha root to calm your cortisol and really enhance your resting parasympathetic tone. Now for Section 5, days 46 through 60, sirtuins and peak output. In these final 2 weeks, we're targeting your sirtuins. You might have heard of these. They're a family of proteins known as the longevity genes. They literally regulate cellular health, DNA expression, and the aging process itself. But they don't just work on magic. They're fueled directly by NAD+ precursors and dense plant polyphenols. So we are loading the diet to activate these pathways to the absolute maximum. By weeks 7 and 8, your body is fully adapted. The 6:30 a.m. elixir is now the sirtuin spark. Breakfast is an epigenetic green scramble, lunch is a yellowtail ceviche, and you're snacking on macadamia nuts. Dinner is a heavy-hitting marrow and bison forge, followed by dark chocolate and green tea at 8 p.m. We're balancing macros perfectly here to keep your blood glucose remarkably stable while producing massive high-output energy. Finally, Section 6, monitoring recovery and sustaining energy. Upgrading the body is totally meaningless if we don't have a structured way to track our physical recovery. This is where you become the scientist of your own body. You need electrolytes, magnesium and potassium to prevent cramping and relax muscles, anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats to reduce joint and muscle soreness, high-quality protein to repair muscle fibers, and complex carbohydrates to restore the glycogen you burn. You'll dynamically adjust these based on what your body is telling you. And that brings us to the Bakelog feedback loop. This ongoing checklist is your ultimate tool. Step 1, review your weekly performance journal. Step 2, monitor your memory and focus. If they're dipping, you tweak your B complex or omega-3 intake. Step 3, track any muscle soreness or cramping and adjust your magnesium or potassium. And Step 4, evaluate your sleep quality. Tossing and turning, you instantly know to adjust your evening magnesium and glycine. You're constantly course-correcting toward optimal performance. So, with the lifestyle software installed, your step-by-step menu blueprint in hand, and your recovery feedback loop ready to go, are you ready to optimize your cellular power plants and start day 1? You know exactly what to put on your plate and exactly why you're doing it. The only question left is, when are you going to take that first step toward true, unstoppable biological optimization?